on this episode of The Legend of Heroes Trails Through Daybreak. Professor Callaghan? What's wrong, sir? Professor? Professor Callaghan! That was when I bumped into her, a hostess. She said she thought with a regular customer she was rather fond of. She looked awful. But then one thing led to another and we drank together at Hotel Ingress. Yeah? What'd that lead to? Spit something more on us, why don't you? Well, that's enough. Do I really need to go into more detail? Down, Aaron. Your snide little quips aren't helping. Nice to meet you. I'm a researcher from ZCF over in Liberal. As Murray gave me a call asking for some help with this new project of hers, so here I am. I just flew in this morning. I studied biology, plants specifically. My most notable work would be the acerbic tomato, if you ever heard of that. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Trails Through Daybreak. In the last parts, we continue our search for the abusive professor. We confronted the man himself, who was very abusive, very self-centered and arrogant. Unfortunately, couldn't do much about that. Went separate ways with Agnes and the rest of the students of Aramis. Did a little bit of QA testing, and shot a satellite in the sky. Apparently, we have an intruder in the institute, so we gotta find them. What is over here? What's something blue?
残留シャード再感知。
さっきのところより少しだけ濃いみたいだな。
やっぱり誰かいるんでしょうか。
さっき感じた視線は。
Oh boy. Alright, what's going on in the cafeteria? Cafeteria's empty, huh? Phew, I can't sense anyone here either. By the way, was that green-haired girl the only one who left in the building when we got here, apart from our intruder? Not quite. Professor Cronkite had already returned home for the day, so he won't be here. But there are also several security guards along with Professor Callaghan and his assistants. I tried calling out to them from the other side of the door, but they were too focused on their work to notice. No surprise there, I guess. Well, let's just put them out of our minds for the time being. Professor Hampton's students are an eclectic bunch, huh? You included. I don't want to hear that from you. Still, I think that goes to show how open-minded she was. She doesn't care about race, upbringing, or anything other than finding the good in everyone. Then working to better bring it out. Everyone knows her as the mother of the Orbital Revolution, but even to this day, she's striving to develop technology to help those in need. On top of that, she's kind, considerate. I've never met anyone like her. She sounds amazing. She was the one responsible for reviving and expanding the Tharbad's Oasis too, wasn't she? I can really tell just how much you respect her. I could never not respect her. This feels like... So the house we visited earlier today is where Mr. Salas and Professor Hamilton lived then. That's right, the professor took him in 9 years ago, and he's been living with her since. The two of them, along with me and Professor Cronkite, are like family now. So that's why people call him her favorite. So if she left the country 2.5 years ago, however... That's right, he puts on a brave face, but he misses her so much. He's off trying to solve the problems in the east, so there's no telling when she's going to be back. The story about closing down the observatory seemed to come about because of me and Professor Cronkite, too. But he never confided in us. Instead, he tried to fix the problem all on his own. And Professor Cronkite's really busy at the moment, so he can't be around very much. I just wish I could pick up the slack and support Quatre like a big sister should. Kayla's got a pattern, huh? He was trying to sort out that problem down in the mine alone, too. But he's at the kind of age when kids want to act older than they are. Better just have him leave him be if you want to ask me. Perhaps you're right, but there are for another But being there for one another is what families do. I'm a little envious, to be honest. Oh. Hmm? Did you find something, Zeros? Guess we'd better give it a look. You sure didn't find anything downstairs, though, so I'm not getting my hopes up. I agree. Let's see if we can find anything. I'm using you guys, huh? Rough, rough.
しかしまず生きてるみてえだな。
大変でしたよ。狼っぽい仕草を再現するのは。
Alright.
さすがは生態工学の期待の星、アーチェット准教授です。
See, nothing here. Well, that's strange. The door is ajar. Did it just open itself? No, that doesn't. Where are you going, Zeros? Hmm? What is it, Zeros? There! Wait, was that? Whatever they are, they ain't just using stealth shards. They appear to be combining them with something else. Theo, we're going after them. Understood. We're going to. Wait for me! Poor girl. Heat signature detected. Zeros! Oops.
ちょっと待ちなさい。鉱山よ、鉱山。
A woman? She looks kind of familiar. And there was maybe think it'd be like that kinky cat or someone from the mafia. Huh? Who's that? She must not be a member of the faculty then. Man, it did cross my mind it might be you, but I wouldn't have put mirror on it. This here is one of Kincaid's subordinates. I don't think I ever caught your name. Oh, so it's the desk jockey's gopher, huh?
誰がパシリよ。
Hmm? This is an acquaintance of yours.
接触するつもりはなかったけど、まさか今日一日だけで理科大学側とここまで信頼関係を結んでるなんてね。噂にたがわぬ人たらしぶりじゃない。バン・アークライド所長。
I ain't conning anyone. I'm just that likable. Also, if you're gonna try to burn someone, maybe try doing it when you're not pinned down to a dog.
うるさいわね。とっとと解放してちょうだい。
Can't need a bite of Engadine. Looks like you guys did the rounds. We sure did, though we may have overdid a tad for it being our first day. But now I have a better idea of just what is happening in the city. You do? Kayla.
カエラ・マクミラン。
Kyla. Excuse me.
一応本名よ。CID 所属の特務少尉。こちらはオフレコで頼むわ。
I thought you were here on a job from the same. So the CID is also involved then? Yeah, we knew the CEO might try to hide stuff from us, so we kept one of our clients a secret. We just didn't expect one of their guys to use a mix of Zypha and Rom to sneak in here. I apologize for the trouble I ended up causing. My intention was to investigate, so we had a backup in the event you didn't succeed. I never expected it to be found. Clearly, I shouldn't have underestimated the Institute of Science technological prowess. Via was cool? Of course, very cool. I don't get it. Why sneak in here at all? You couldn't just let us do our thing? I assume she concluded that the current situation was too serious not to do anything. That about the long and short of it. The current state of the orbital network and distribution network is definitely a problem. I had them go down on me the other day too. I managed to get things running again, but it was still a big hassle. But just why is this happening at all? There's only one possibility that I can propose. That would be unusually intensive. That would be unusually intensive parallel distributed computing. No expert in the field, but that's all that comes to mind for me too. Then we're all of the same mind. I'm totally lost. Yeah, the hell are you guys talking about? Orbital computers have been getting bigger and faster over the past few years. And the bigger they get, the more orbital energy they consume. In short, yes, the larger and more complex the tasks you require, then the more power they will consume. Orbitals regenerate orbital energy over time and don't generally need an external power source. That changes, however, when the amount of energy consumed vastly exceeds the orbital's ability to generate it. Yet, the orbital distribution network that serves as that external source is also heavily taxed. That leads to a temporary decrease in the amount of energy available, and a spike in the amount of orbital network traffic. That theory alone would be enough to explain the issues you were here to investigate. Does parallel distributed computing really consume that much orbital energy? It's when you borrow the processing power of multiple computers to the net to do various calculations, right? I'm impressed you know about that such cutting-edge tech. Now, connecting a few terminals isn't going to consume much energy at all. But what do you think would happen if one were to connect all the terminals in the city? Then do you think the hacking is behind us? The flow of the orbital distribution network looks to me like it's been being manipulated. If you intention to adjust its flow on an erratic schedule, you can make it seem like the issues are occurring at random. I might even call doing just that my specialty, though I find this here to be a distastefully crafty way of going about it. Still, while it's possible on paper, I can't imagine parallel distributed computing taking place on such a vast scale. As for controlling the orbital distribution network itself, that's simply unimaginable with current technology. You still don't know about all there is about orbital energy and how it works. Oh, but wait. Yeah, a situation mirrored that unimaginable scenario that happened not all that long ago. It was around the most recent occupation of Crossbell. There are miracles and calamities born from large-scale distributed processing that should have been impossible with our current tech. So impossible that I never thought the same could happen here in the Republic, even if this is on a smaller scale. Indeed, we can analyze that situation ourselves at Marduk and reach a conclusion about what happened. Zet. That confirms it then. She finally clues us in. I've heard some about what went down Crossbow, but this is the same as that, then well, that spells trouble for us. Right, this isn't the first time we run into something that connected that whole incident either. Don't know if they're deliberately setting out to replicate Crossbell's deal, but there is one thing we need to get cleared up right off the bat. We gotta assume someone's out there trying to do research that can only be done with parallel distributed computing. So the question becomes, who is it? What's the point of asking a question with only one clear answer? Professor Callaghan. Just what does he think he's doing? He's changed a ton over the last few years, but I didn't think he was up to something of this magnitude. This number belongs to... Professor Callaghan? What's wrong, sir? Professor? Professor Callaghan! What just happened? He's in the special research building, right? We must hurry! Sounds like an explosion. What? Damn. The whole thing's blown out. Ugh. Professor, where are you, Professor? Start to decode. Oh, good. Oh boy. So what's going on here? Professor Callaghan has gone missing and you're here with some evidence that he's been abusing his power? And the police and the guild have barged into this since you wanted to question me. You people have been here for a day. A day! Are you some sort of plague being brought down upon us? It's not their fault. This is Professor Callaghan's problem. No, it's all of our problem. Quatre. Don't act like you didn't know about assistants being harassed left and right. Just what do you want me to do about it in my position? It's not my place to say anything about his research. I'm sure that is one of the difficult things being a joint venture group founded by... I'm gonna try reading that again. I'm sure that is one of the difficult things about being a joint venture group funded by multiple investors. But I also imagine the benefits outweigh the difficulties. And we can see that the professor was on the rampage. And the problems with the orbital network and its distribution are just as clear. Let me just shoot straight with you. Was that professor linked to any strange groups? You know, like the Mafia or anything? I like to believe that he wasn't, but I can't say for sure. It's pretty normal for the Institute of Science and the Vern Company to accept outside funding. In other words, the ground is fertile with corruption. And I can't rule out the possibility with all those new terminals he suddenly had on him. Stop this pointless conjecture. You have no evidence. Rumors like this were to leak to the public during such a crucial time. How about act like a leader for once in your damn life? These youngsters were hired so the police and the guild wouldn't have to get involved. And while we sit here scrambling for answers, who knows what Professor Callaghan's up to? Tell me, is there ever going to be a better time than now to step up as a CEO, Bill? Supervisor. Fine, I'll tell you everything I know. But please keep this just between us. Of course, our team always keeps matters like this confidential. We're contracted with one of our biggest shareholders, the Principality of the same. We have nothing to gain from hurting your image. And everything to gain from earning some brownie points with Vern. Professor Callaghan's first began to change around a year or two ago. We received a request from the Republican Army to develop the next generation of weapons, something he excelled in. But when the time came to propose ideas, he lost in his own field. Professor Cronkite's was accepted. I knew that was it. Ever since, he's been doing research on his own like a man possessed. I don't know what it is he started researching, but whatever it was, it required an immense amount of capital and manpower. There came a point when he started seeking out every sponsor he could. Then half a year ago, I heard a place called the Anchorville Company offer an unprecedented amount of money. That name. So I got caught in your information network here too, eh? Don't tell me this is the same thing as in Langport. Indeed, the Anchorville Company, much like the Mezzodome Train Company, is also one of their shell corporations. Who are we talking about? A certain mafia. They're called Armada, and they're on both the guild and the police's radar. What? Professor Callaghan was involved with people like that? I've heard of the rumors. Been expanding their territory an awful lot of late. Just how the hell could you have overlooked something like this? It's not my fault. I only got the info the other day. What else could I do? Do you know what could happen to me if I put a pause on research for the Mafia? Think about the poor assistants who ended up helping them without even realizing it. So after losing against the genius professor, he started focusing entirely on his own research. But I bet that he's sticking to his same field of expertise. And if the Mafia has invested massive funds into his work, I have a bad thing about this. A really bad feeling. The network delay that dropped down to 0.35% has gotten worse again as of this morning too. That makes it highly possible that he's continuing his research in another location. But just where on earth could that be? Sounds like we got a good old-fashioned manhunt on our hands. We're going to be combing through this place way more than we did yesterday. I take it there are no objections? I don't like it, but I know it must be done. Better give our cards the proper ranks then. Fine, give me your cards. I'm now A rank cards? Oh, just a B? That one almost never gets issued. I'm not trying to bitch, but may as well give us an rank A at this point. Don't ask for the impossible. Besides, I'll be able to get much better than we could yesterday with these. Let's get to work. Time to get one over that mafia.
お願いがあります。できれば僕もしばらくあなたたちに同行させてくれませんか。
Oh?
キャラハン教授のことはハミルトン門下にも無関係じゃありません。博士が留守中、何とかするのは僕の役目です。
Oh, sorry man, I skipped you. That's fine with me. But just to give you a heads up, our work takes priority. That means you're going to be tagging along while we take care of the business. That can be a problem? You mean like yesterday? That's fine. I wouldn't even mind helping out if there's anything I can do. Well, we're counting you guys. I'll reach out to my contact and see what I can dig up while we're at it. And just don't do anything too crazy, okay, Quattro? Don't worry so much, Essie. I'm in good company. But whatever it takes, I'm determined to set things right while she's not here to do it herself. I know. I'll start talking to any dealers to supply Professor Callaghan with parts. If I hear anything back, I'll let you know. Take good care of the boy. Yeah, you got it. By the way, Agnes, it glowed last night, didn't it? I did, yes. Most likely at the same time as when Professor Callaghan's final transmission went out. We're getting close then. Yes, last time the Genesis glowed like that was... what are you talking about? What's the Genesis? Don't worry about it. Work stuff. I'm sure we'll fill you in eventually. I hope you don't mind, Quattro. If you say so, it must be something that could take a while to explain. So, where should we start? If possible, I'd like to first speak with Yang. We would better know him as Professor Cronkite. That guy our missing professor had beef with, right? Yeah, I bet he'd know a thing or two about his research. Sounds good to me. Plus, it's about time we had a little talk about yesterday's client. The anonymous one? Not so anonymous to us at this point. Come on, let's settle the score. So, we'll make the rounds to the new town in the artisanal district before heading to the Institute of Science. That sounds perfect. And may day 2 of our work begin. Oh boy. Quattro is join the party! Alright, do you have some costumes, Mr. Boy? Mr. Boy? Mr. Boy? Alright. Two headphones over headphones? That makes no sense. And I have to buy more hairstyles eventually, right? Alright. Alright, so, let's go here. What do we have over here? Some classified info got stolen. Before these blow up, I want to get it back. Please keep this secret from any Vernon employees. I'll be waiting at the hotel lobby. Alright.
なるほど。こういった依頼が来るのか。
はい。ちょっとギルドには相談できなそうなですね。
Alright.
行こうか。
Commands. Yo, Harrison, right? Von Arkwright, Arkwright Solutions. You got an SPG for us? Oh, thank the goddess! I could really use your help. How so? Could you fill us in the details? You're from Vern's Weapons Development Division, right? That's right, Wait a minute, are you... Quattro Salison? Oh, hold on, why is he here? Did I not specify that this was kept secret from the Institute? Your request asks for secrecy from Vern employees, but not the Institute of Science personnel. And anyway, Quattro isn't here as a researcher today. He's working with me for reasons. We won't know how to help you if you don't tell us what the problem is. I feel like this might be related to Professor Calvin's situation. Alright. Please keep this under wraps. If CEO Tawson hears about this, oh goodness, God has helped me. I can't promise that. Depends on the severity of your situation. But I can promise I'll hear you out before making any moves. We're getting that classified info is in our best interest at any rate. Anything beyond that, well, that's the Spriggan's jurisdiction. Well, ain't the kid awfully bossy? Fine, I can work with that. Just let me explain myself in full, please. And preferably in private. So, well, there's no good way to phrase this. I got caught in a honey trap. Oh, I've heard of those. They crop up a lot in books and films. I guess life really does imitate art. Well, the way I see it, that ain't really a problem on its own. She'd leave you a blue ball and bankrupt you, or what? Well, stop being around the bush. The more we know, the more sooner we can get cracking. I know it was late last night. I just got off my shift at work. I had with me that briefcase with the classified documents in it as discussed earlier. That was when I bumped into her, a hostess. She said she thought it was a regular customer she was rather fond of. She looked awful. But then one thing led to another, and we drank together at Hotel Ingress. Yeah? What'd that lead to? Spit something more on us, why don't you? Well, that's enough. Do I really need to go into more detail? Down, Aaron. Your snide little quips aren't helping. So what happened afterward? I don't remember, honestly. Couldn't keep my eyes open. When I came to, it was already the next morning. By then, she was long gone, and she'd taken the briefcase with her. I panicked. I heard about 4 SPG requests, so I sent one in to try to save face. Huh. Bringing classified materials to a romantic tryst is rash, to say the least. I know. Just with security clearance and all, I figured it would be safe. Indeed, the security card system has made outside attempts at data breach difficult. Perhaps that was what led them to a targeted insider like yourself. So you'll take it? You'll take it, right? We have to act fast so that briefcase is as good as gone. What should we do, Vaughn? Sure. Alright, we'll take it. Phew, thank you so much. I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. Thank you, Vaughn. I can't overlook this myself. So just to make sure, maybe contact the hotel and ask if they still have it. You might have to just left it at the bar or elsewhere. They have a lost and found for those things, I believe. Actually, that's a good point. I was so packed I just assumed it was stolen. Let's head it up at the hotel first, then. If they have it, case closed. Might not even charge you for that one. But if it was stolen, then we're on the case. Right, that's fine by me. Thank you so much. I'm sorry, but we don't have anything of a description. We asked our guests to return any missing items they found, but we haven't seen nor heard of a briefcase. Housekeeping has cleaned your room already, but they didn't find anything there either. Well, great. It does sound like it was stolen then, and that brings us to our mystery woman. By the by, did you happen to see a hostess or a hostess-esque woman leaving the hotel yesterday morning? A hostess? No, not that I recall. I see. Very odd. So where could she have gone in that time? Anybody in general could leave around that time then? Yes, actually. There was a researcher who rushed out of the hotel that morning. She looked like she was in a hurry. And did she... Yeah, I think she did. She might have had a case with her. A researcher? You know, now that I think about it, she was really sharp. She knew more about engineering than the layman should. I had been talking to her about my job, and she was asking me really in-depth questions about the tech I brought up. Well, sounds like her hostess gig's BS, then. Then the scientist act, too. Yeah, she knows more than she lets on. That puts the honey trap theory back on the table. And that means the hunt is on. We'll handle an investigation from here. I think we've got enough to go on now. Right. Thank you so much. So we have a general idea of who the suspect is, but now how do we find her? Process of elimination, I'm thinking. We could try to figure out where she couldn't be. Let's go with the briefcase before that. First step here would be figuring out the motive. What was in there and why was she after it? That's classified info, as I'm sure I don't need to remind you. But, well, yeah, we do need to know. Long, can I trust you? Trust is everything in this line of work. Your secrets are safe with us, promise. Alright. Harrison, if you would fill us in. Okay, fine. So, they're blueprints for a new orbital gun, plus some other design documents. The military's planning to adopt them soon. We've been getting our parts and assembly pipelines ready. those design docs were to fall into foreign hands, yes, that would be a problem. It does explain why its contents were so highly classified. Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that. But if they do get the docs, making the actual gun wouldn't be so easy. It uses some very rare, very complicated metal alloys. As far as I'm aware, only Basil has the custom-made machine tools required to work with them. You said the thief was well versed with engineering. She might realize she needs those alloys when she starts reading the documents. Could she still be in the city then, trying to procure some alloys for herself? You can't just work with them by hand. The alloys are useless without those special tools. And you can't buy them from the Vern store unless you show them your certification card. So if she knew she needed the alloys, she shouldn't be able to use them. She didn't see her certification card too, did she? She should have. I mean, oh no. Yep, it's gone. Are you kidding me? Not my certification card too? Oh no. Yeah, I figured as much. She'd already had you wrapped on her finger. Betcha she went to the Vern store with it. Let's head over there and ask around. You just sit tight until we finish our investigation. We'll keep you posted. Okay. Good luck. Oh boy. Vern store. Hey, mister. Welcome. Well, always good to see you and seeing some folks. What can I do for you? Yes, hello, we have a question. So, did the female researcher come by the store this morning? Yeah, somebody came by earlier today. Looked like a researcher to me. She was a real looker, I remember that much. She dropped by right after we opened. I see. Did she buy anything? She did, yeah. She asked for some alloy machining tools. It was a bit of a strange ask. But she had her certification card with her, so yeah, I went ahead and got those for her. She also asked her if she could get the alloy themselves. Maybe she needed them for a project or something. Anyway, I told them they might be able to help her over at Gift Cards. So that's where little fox ran off to. We best hurry. Thanks for the info. Oh boy.
では向かいましょう。
Hi, mans. Well, if it isn't Quatre, what's got you looking so serious? I had a quick question for you, if you don't mind. Have you ever had a woman from the Institute come by looking for metal alloys? Huh. It's like you saw it happen. We had something like that come by just a bit ago. She had a valid card, so I went ahead and sold her the alloys she wanted. Should I not have? Nah, don't sweat it. We just need to talk with her about something. I see. Well, I guess that's fair. Oh, now that you mention it, actually. She said something about heading off to the Liberal after she was done with her business here in Basil. If I had to guess, she's probably made for Og Canyon. Thing is, she was driving some sporty ATWS makes, so you probably couldn't catch her if you tried. Well, that gives us a good idea where she's at any rate. Thank you. Should we head over to the canyon then? I mean, it's not like we can catch her if we do. You heard the man. Nope. Northeast is where we're heading. Why? That's the complete opposite direction. Think about it. We're dealing with somebody who's making off with classified info and trying to shake off the cops off her tail. So why don't she just tell some rando where she's going? She ain't gonna leave a trail like that. That does make sense. But then why did she tell Eugen that she was going to Liberal? To deceive him, I suspect. She may very well have known she's being followed. Having stolen top secret intel, she's lucky trying to throw the authorities off her trail. That does make sense. It's exactly what a criminal would do. I agree with Vaughn then. Let's head for the highway up towards Edith. Yeah, once we're back in Newtown, we can hop in my car and hunt them down. Get out, taking cars. Alright, sure.
では向かいましょう。
Alright. I'm out of here. Do I really have to go in here? Wait, where am I going? Oh my god, sometimes this map is confusing. Okay. Let me catch it quick before it's too late! Off we go! It's a comfy ride, yeah? It's comfortable, yes, but I don't think now's the time to be discussing that. Let's hurry, please. We have to make sure that classified information doesn't fall into the wrong hands. Yeah. Oh, I think that's the car. Looks like she's about to stop. I'm gonna pull over too, so get ready. Yeah, so left Basil with the documents in hand. I also procured the special tools and alloys, even if that was outside the scope of the mission. With that aside, everything has gone according to plan. I'll have to let you go for a moment. I'll call you back shortly. I believe I found our perpetrator. This is the honey trap girl? Yeah, I'd hit that. Oh dear, I thought my little ruse had bought me more time. You do not appear to be associated with the police of Marduk. Perhaps you might be interested in negotiating? I can offer you a substantial reward if you let me go. Tempting, but nah. Normally I'd be up for a little wheeling and dealing, but I've got a pair of scrutinizing eyes on me. Afraid you're just gonna have to hand over the case. Just what exactly would you do if I had not tagged along? Oh my, a research from the Institute is here too. Well, sorry to disappoint you, but the case stays with me. I'll give you two options. Go back to Basil empty-handed, or return in body bags. We'll never agree to your terms. I concur. Well, I won't sit opt for the third option. Fight! That orbital design looks eerily familiar. It must be. Well, don't say I didn't warn you. What? She had bosses this whole time. Someone came prepared. Not like it'll make any difference, though. I'll make it mincemeat out of them in seconds flat. I don't feel like want to deal with all these fucking dogs. So... Thanks, Misty. Alright. Now you suck! Alright. Three fucking dogs, so... Oh, one survived? Fucking dog. No way, how could I possibly have lost? Checkmate. I give up the goods. While you're at it, answer me this. What organization do you belong to? Who hired you? I can answer that in her stead. I recognize that particular gun model. She's likely associated with Zect Arms. You mean that new arms manufacturer? If I'm remembering things right, their names started making rounds in the War of the Empire. Correct. They are similar to Marduk in some respects, although they are not nearly as large as an enterprise. Their ambitions for weapons development, however, are quite ferocious. They've been aggressive with expanding their market share of late. And now they're sending out spies to do their dirty work? Damn, that's low. Can't say I disagree. Stealing technology from competitors is hardly an ethical business practice. Now then, I suppose we better get this stuff back to our client. We should also take her back with us. Could you restrain her from me for Rita? On it! Yes, this all looks right. Thank God it's still here. Thank you so much for getting that Greek briefcase back. That's a relief. Is this case closed then? Well, no. Looks like they broke into it. She knew how to procure the right alloys and their tools, so I think she probably got to read the documents. The information itself has likely reached Zect Arms already. How they plan to utilize that information, I'm not sure. But simply having Republic schematics will give them an advantage in their own research and development. This is bad. Really bad. There has to be something we can do to stop that, but what? There's another card we can play, but you might not like it. We can bring in some groups to help us out, but then, well, they'll know. This matter concerns more than just you now. There are far-reaching industrial secrets at stake. It will be in our best interest to swallow our pride and consult the authorities. Alright. Fine, the company can know. What's your plan? Well, if you want to stay on the good terms with the boys in blue, then we should probably bring this to Vern and let them work with the police themselves. The whole thing will be blown open at that point, but the client made his bed there. That'll at least stop the intel from spreading. Or we can call some friends in other places. We have the second lieutenant, and the CID will have them snuffed out in no time. I think they'll be happy with an industrial spy as a down payment. Oh, shoot. So, double plus plus for Law, for Vern, or double plus plus for Gray, for the CID. Not quite sure which one's lacking more. So, I'm just gonna go with, CID. Let's give the CID a call. The second lieutenant just so happens to be in the area. She should be able to cover it. The CID? Why go all the way up to them? Wouldn't the police be better suited for local investigations? Nah, the police can't do much about the big picture. This will really throw a wrench in her plans. For better or worse, the police stick to the letter of the law. The CID? They don't really answer to anything. Justice is blind, but they've got eyes everywhere. Zect Arms as a whole ain't going anywhere once they're done with this perp. I see. Well, that should be fine then. We'll contact the CID if that's all the same to you. Yeah, I don't really have a choice. I need to bite the bullet and confess. It's settled. Zek, can you call the CID? Certainly. Well, before long, Second Lieutenant Kayla and her CID accompaniment arrived at the scene. The spy was taken to CID custody, followed shortly by cutthroat negotiations with Zect Arms. Client did ultimately confess to his error. However, because he nonetheless helped the CID to apprehend the spy, they conveniently expunged his name from the report to the Vern Company. Sure, I can't think your knives enough. Without your help, the briefcase would have done some serious damage in the wild. I think it's probably for the best that we consulted the CID as much as I didn't want to. Yeah, sucks we couldn't honor the original request, but eh. Now we got a brownie point to the CID, and you still got a clean sheet. Yeah, feel a bit guilty getting off scot-free, but well, I can't complain about that, can I? Thank you for concocting such an airtight plan. I need to excuse myself for a minute, then. Not that you'd like to question me. Best of luck. Oh, it's done. Don't get any more honey traps. This won't be a problem. Yeah, it looks like Gray leveled up. Morally Gray. What the fuck? Obtained Mar Gray through Marn's Vaughn's secret. What the fuck is that? What? What? Mark Gray? Is that a holocore? There's a Oh. Alright. Evasion 62%. That's actually not bad at all. That's another thing that I'm certain only Vaughn can equip it. Alright. Yeah, only Vaughn can equip it. Rippers. Alright, I figured. Alright, next stop. While we're here, because I didn't go over here to this vending machine. Okay, now it's the same shit. Alright. What do you got? Pardon me for making all this request, but I know you're rather busy, but we'll have to help gather materials for a certain painkiller. Alright. I wasn't expecting Essie to have a request for us. Though really, she could have just told us in person. Guess she's just heard this how we do things and rolled with it. We'll have to go and talk to her later. Agree, we really owe it to her. Why not? We're here anyway. We can't just ignore it. Excuse me. Coming through. Hello. Oh, hello everyone. I take it you saw our request? The one about gathering ingredients for the painkiller? Yeah, we got it. I gave it the right request to said we now, too. Now that you mentioned it, it did. You two are working together on this, I take it. That's right. I don't think you've met him before. Everyone, this is Ray. Nice to meet you. I'm a researcher from ZCF over in Liberal. Esma Ray gave me a call asking for some help with this new project of hers, so here I am. I just flew in this morning. I studied biology, plants specifically. My most notable work would be the acerbic tomato, if you ever heard of that. I don't blame you if it's flown under your radar, though. It hasn't really caught on in Calvardi yet. I don't remember anything like that. I think I've seen it on occasion at some important food stores. It's not really bitter tomato, isn't it? I've had a few of those, I think. Acquired taste, to say the least. I heard they spread from Liberal to Crossbell, and then they're bony as well. I've tried them once or twice, but they really get my thing. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Acerbic tomatoes are about the exact opposite of sweet. I like them quite a bit, actually. So do I. They're the perfect pick-me-up when I feel myself nodding off. Glad I've got two people in my camp, at least. I ended up creating them to provide a total accident in the greenhouse, if you can believe it. Imagine the shock and horror on my colleagues' faces when they unsuspectingly bit into one of them for the first time. Oh, I'll treasure those memories forever. That was the impetus of my biology research. I was just drifting along for a specific focus before then, and those tomatoes really saved me. He seems a little eccentric, doesn't he? Though I thought that was how lab coat types operate. Well, to an extent, yes, but I'd say he makes the rest of us look normal. Wow, are you really that bitter? I kind of want to try one. Got it. So you're the botany guy, and then Esma raised the bioengineering stuff, which led you two to working on a painkiller together, right? Well, that does seem like a bit of a leap. You got that look on your face, Quatre. You've worked it out, haven't you? Well, yes, being your understudy clues me on such things. First, though, I think we should figure out whether or not we'll take this job before we dive into the details. What's your call, Vaughn? Why not? Alright, we're on board. What do you want to need us to do? Oh, thank you so much! Esme is the project lead on this for reference. I'm just helping out here and there. She'll fill you in on the details. Let's go ahead and take it from the top. I'm working to develop bionic limbs for amputees, and these painkillers are an important step to the process. I had a hunch that was it. Bionic limbs, huh? Bioengineering indeed. That does sound up your alley. I know a lot of Jaegers use prosthetic arms and stuff. What does that have to do with painkillers, though? Are these artificial limbs linked directly to the user's nerves? You know your stuff. Leave it to the Marta representative to connect the dots. Oh, you flatter me. It's just a field I have a personal interest in. Traditional prosthetics only rely on extrapolating movements from other muscles in the body. It's very awkward and inexact, and that limits their uses for practical applications. Bionic limbs don't have that problem, though. Yeah, that makes sense. That'd be the best way to put one in if you can figure out how. You hook them up to the nerves, and the brain cell can use them just like real limbs. Right on the money. That sounds incredible. Yep. It's still mostly theoretical, though. Practical examples aren't really there yet. We still have a lot of issues to work out. That's one of the big focuses of my department right now. And chief among them was those problems and how painful it is to have worked on your nerves. So that's what the painkiller is for. Exactly. Nerve work is an extremely painful procedure even after the attachment is finished. They're quite literally running a knife across your arm over and over again, all throughout the process. Ugh, that sounds awful. Can't you just use the anesthetic like they do for surgeries? Not really. Anesthesia isn't meant for regular use. Your body really wouldn't appreciate you knocking it out over and over. And that's why you need a painkiller for daily use with minimal side effects. I do know that painkillers are often made from plant extracts, which is where Ray's research comes in, I assume. Bingo. We might have found just the thing for our painkiller. It's a luminous plant called the Zemuria moss. The Septian Church uses it liberally for their own medicine. I'm told it goes by soul moss in the east. Huh. I think Long Kai gave me some of that when we made that salt for me. Pretty rare stuff, I recall. For sure, you don't see it in the usual channels very often. I tried asking my colleagues to see if they had any, but I came up empty-handed, unfortunately. And that's what led us to you! Got it. Sounds pretty straightforward. This ain't our home turf, though. Can't exactly call in any favors here. All my connections are back home. Oh, you don't need to worry about sourcing it. We figured out that it grows naturally here. Back in Daybreak, you can find it in the Kalia Limestone Cave, underneath the city of Zeiss. That cave has just the right humidity and proximity to the Septine veins. We posited that it might grow in other caves that might meet those criteria. So we looked around here, and bingo, we managed to find one. It's in the deepest part of that metal mine Quattro went to yesterday. Really? I should be able to guide everyone there then. We'll find the entrance in that open area where you rescued me yesterday. Well, that's convenient. That explains why you brought this to us, not the guild. Right? There's the key. This will let you in. Perfect, thanks. Let's get going then. Be careful in there. Alright. RX research! Research! I assume I gotta go to the midpoint. Okay, unfortunately, there's a door. I didn't even realize there was a door here, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, we're getting close to time, so I am going to wrap it up here. When we come back, we will explore the deeper parts of the mine and see what stuff there is to offer. Probably more freaking earth-shaking worms. Oh boy. So yeah, we'll do that in the next part, and then we'll continue on with the day on our investigations. So, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you then. Later.